made it onto my mat. Thank you for being so patient with my technical issues. I'm back in the world of tech now, so easy for me to share this with you, which of course I'm going to do. If you're joining me now, well, brilliant. If you've already practiced with me and you're rejoining me, welcome back. So we're going to twist today. Let me just sit down and chat to you. We're going to twist. Twisting has amazing benefits for the body, but the main focus today is how we can stimulate our immune system and our digestive system. Both those parts of us kind of rely on each other. So if one isn't quite in balance, then the other one isn't either. So double benefits to whatever we're doing today. I'd also like you to think of when we twist, to start the movement, so lead with your shoulders. It's a little bit, perhaps you're remembering when we've twisted before, I've asked you to perhaps contract the navel and move from there, but today we're going to allow the shoulders to turn, and then everything else should just nicely and softly follow. And we'll add to that by drawing the navel to the spine. So that's where we're going to get the little squeeze and the twist, a bit like wringing out a dishcloth. So helping your body to eliminate and get rid of things it no longer needs or requires. Yay, brilliant. So we'll make a start. I think what we'll do is we'll lie on our backs and we'll do a few twists from the floor. So if you'd like to come down onto your mat, legs bent, I'll spin round, rolling down onto your back. And we'll just take the arms just softly out in line with the shoulders, taking the feet about hip width apart. Gently start to kind of wave your knees from side to side, nice and slowly. Maybe the head rolling in the opposite direction. Just beginning to sow the seed of twisting, just easing into it. Good. Next time your knees go to the right, just allow them to stay there. Take a good few breaths, noticing perhaps the capacity you have to notice the breath more on the left side than the right side. And we'll gently move to the other side. Then we'll come back up to the centre, and this time we're going to do exactly the same thing, but trying to keep the feet and the knees glued together. What you may find is with this kind of position of the legs, as you drop them to one side, the other shoulder starts to really lift up off the mat. Then in which case, rather than trying to pin your knees together, just let them softly slide away, but not as wide as they were a moment ago, if that's okay for you. Alright, same arm position. Notice how heavy your arms are as they're just resting on the floor. We'll take the knees over to the right. So these twists are more on the spine than the belly, but there's still a little bit of a twisting and squeezing going on the front body as well. And gently release it over to the other side. So now perhaps you can notice the breath moving into the right side a little bit more easily, or maybe you're just able to notice it a bit more with your legs over to the left. Come back to the centre as you breathe in. And this time as you exhale, draw your knees onto your chest and curl up. So you're trying to squeeze your legs and belly against each other as best you can. So sometimes we focus on the back body breathing here. I'd still like you to feel your belly moving with the breath, maybe pressing into the thighs as you inhale. And releasing away from the thighs as you exhale. Good, lay your head and shoulders down. Relax your arms, then pop one foot down and the other and make your way up to a comfortable seated position with your least favourite leg in front. Okay. So we're just going to do a nice twist from a seated position. So we'll start by bringing the right hand across to the left knee, but what I'd like you to try and avoid is turning your head. Okay, so we're just going to take the right hand to the left knee. Without looking, just sweep your left hand to the floor behind you. Breathe in, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, turn the shoulders first. And then notice how the head and neck are really easy and soft. At the end of the out breath, focus on that navel drawing back and in. Now not only does that sort of squeeze and compress, it gives you a bit more space, so maybe you'll find you can twist a little bit more deeply. If you've had any issues, by the way, over the last few days or so with a tummy upset, then you can still twist, but keep it soft. Same with abdominal surgery, as long as it's okay for you to do a twisting action. If you're not sure, then perhaps come back to this practice another time. Now to come away, we're going to stay as we are, breathe in, exhale with a sigh, and sort of just soften off the twist. And then allow everything to come forward facing again. Change the cross of your legs. Just once to each side, so same thing to the other side. Left hand to right knee, without looking or turning your head, sweep your right arm behind you, right hand to the floor. Lengthen up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, turn your shoulders first. Then just allow the head and neck to ease around. So you're trying to keep your spine as tall as you can, but without it being rigid and sort of set in place. Able to spine on the exhalation. Maybe going a little deeper into the twist. Your next exhale, sigh your breath away. Coming forwards. Whatever position your legs need to be in is fine. Hands to the floor, breathe in. Now as you breathe out, come forwards. I'd like you to carefully round the lower back. So you're starting to almost squeeze into the belly and then rounding down. Sometimes we try and come forwards with a flat back, but here we're kind of slumping. Be careful if you've got any issues with your lower back, because slumping can be a little bit sore. Now breathing in to come back up, we're going to do the twist again. I know I said once, but one type of twist. We're going to go to the left again. Right hand to left knee, left hand to the floor without looking. Good. Now before we do anything this time, rather than lengthening up, we're going to slump down. Okay, so just allow your back to kind of melt, then turn your shoulders to the left. Notice the squeeze now on the belly. So it may feel really squashed and almost tight and pressed. Obviously, anything you're doing today, if you're not comfortable doing it, then remember it's your body, it's your yoga, so you can just settle back into a higher position. Good. Breathe in to lengthen up this time. Exhale to your forward facing position. Change the cross of your legs again. That should be forward facing position. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind without turning the head. Good. Just allow the back to softly round. Take your time. Remember, it's not good if you've got issues with your lower back to do this. So you can stay tall. Turning the shoulders and then finally the head. Well done. Lengthening up to return up from that kind of slumpy twist. Exhale back to your forward facing position. Have whatever leg in front that feels the most comfortable. Good, so breathing arms out and up. Palms together overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart, navel to spine, turn your shoulders to the left. Good, breathe in. Exhale, turn your shoulders to the right. So just let your shoulders lead the twist, and whatever else wants to follow is fine. You'll probably find your head naturally flows. Try not to lead with your head though. Shoulders, then everything else. Good. Last one to the right. Breathe in, arms out and up. Exhale, bring your hands back to your heart centre. And just sit quietly for a moment. Notice the belly swelling at the breath. Everything easing and sort of opening away from that squeeziness we did in the first few moments on our mats. So we're going to go straight to it by coming to all fours. Step your left foot forward to the inside of your left hand. I want you to have today, as much as you can, something called a box lunge. So you can hopefully see you've got a 90-degree leg angle on the front leg and a 90-degree leg angle on the back leg. You can always pad your knee by rolling your mat up. Okay, tuck your back toes under, so right toes are tucked under. Coming up onto that left thigh, we're going to do that same action we did a moment ago, hands to the heart and then twist. 3 times to the left. We'll hold the 3rd time. Okay, hands at the heart, breathe in, arms out and up. Exhale, navel to spine, turn your shoulders to the left. Good. Maybe your head at the end, maybe not. And again, centre, breathe in, exhale to the left. This one we hold, breathe in, exhale and twist. So you can stay high, you can lay your right forearm on top of your left thigh, or you can come even lower and kind of hook your right arm around the outside of your left lower leg, possibly pushing the back heel away so the knee comes away from the floor, maybe looking at the back corner of your mat. If that doesn't work, just find something you can focus on, so it's going to help with your balance, something that isn't moving. Turn your gaze to the floor, bring your hands either side of that front foot, and let's step back to our first downward dog. Good. So you might want to give your left leg a bit of a shake. Why not the right one? Perhaps pedaling the heels, pedaling the feet, as I've shared with you before, sometimes called walking the dog. And then breathe in, lift both heels high, exhale, lightly tap your knees down. And we'll do that twist on the other side. So bringing your right foot forwards to the inside of your right hand. This box lunge position, back toes still tucked. Walk your hands up your right thigh. 3 times to the right. Breathing in. Exhale, navel to spine, turn your shoulders, and whatever follows, follows. And again. Last one we hold. Good, so stay high, or pop your left forearm on your right thigh, or maybe go nice and low and wrap, sort of kind of hook your left arm around the outside of your right lower leg. This is fine, and you can look to the back of your mat here, or press away through that back heel so the knee lifts off the floor. You can feel that nice sort of squeezy compression thing going on in the belly. You can add to it by drawing the navel in as you exhale. Take your gaze to the floor, release your hands either side of the front foot, step back to downward dog. Good. So let's bend the right leg and keep the left leg straight for a breath or 2. So you may be in a position to have your heel pressing onto the mat, so you just press it a bit more. If it's up, you're just reaching towards the mat with the heel of the straight leg. Then we'll change sides. And then looking forward, you're going to step your left foot to the inside of your left hand. And we're going to do the same thing again, but the option now is to have the other knee up the whole time. All right, so rather than just releasing at the end, you'll have it up. You can repeat with the knee down if that feels better for you. Walk your hands up your left thigh, whether your back knee is up or down. Here we go, breathing in. Exhale, twist to the left. And again. Now watch what's happening to your left hip. Make sure it isn't starting to kind of swing out to the side. And again, we hold. So you can go a little deeper if you wish. high, forearm to thigh, hook, or maybe bring your right hand to the outside of your left foot. If you've gone here, rather than raising the left arm, pop your left hand on your sacrum and make sure it's flat and level and it isn't kind of tipped or twisted. Good. I'd like you to just keep your gaze to the left rather than trying to look up. You can always look down if that suits your neck better. Then look down anyway if you're not. Bring your hands to the floor either side of that front foot. Step back to downward dog. Again, you can shake the leg off. And the other one. Good. We'll just take a lovely long breath here, breathing in, breathing out. Looking forwards, step the right foot now to the inside of the right hand. Remember, pop your left knee down if you prefer. Making your way up onto that right thigh anyway. Adjusting what clothes you need to adjust. So this leg doesn't have to be stick straight if your knees up. It can still be soft. Good. Arms out and up, breathe in. Exhale, turn to the right. Good, breathe in. Exhale, shoulders, everything else. One more, we hold. Here we go, holding this one. Maybe leaning forearm to thigh, maybe staying high, maybe hooking the arm, maybe left hand to the front, the outside of the right foot. Okay, then right hand goes to the sacrum. So you're making sure that the sacrum, those little bony plates at the bottom of the spine, aren't twisting. They don't really like doing that. And they usually let you know. Take your gaze to the right, or maybe down towards the floor. Then release your hands either side of that front foot, step back to downward dog. Stretch that leg out if it feels good. Well done. And we'll come through to plank now. We release the knees, untuck the toes, and we'll wave to the floor. Be particularly aware of the belly being pressed against the floor as you come down. Take your hands a little further forwards, maybe straddle your mat with your hands as you inhale to cobra. Nice relaxed cobra. Exhale back down. Come up to your hands and knees. And then sit back into child's pose with the knees tightly together. So you're aiming to try and get some form of contact with your legs and your body if you can. If not, as close as it can be. You can always support your head if that feels better. Well done. After your next out breath, let's come up to all fours. And we just do a little bit of tummy work with a twist. So what we'll be doing is we're taking one knee across to the back of the wrist of the opposite hand and trying to slide the knee up the arm for as long as we can, and then just simply bring it back to the floor. So I'll just show you here. So I'm bringing my left knee across to the back of my right wrist, using my tummy strength to help me slide that knee up, and then hug it into the chest before placing it back down on the mat. It's a little bit more challenging than it looks. So let's go then. So left knee to the back of the right wrist, draw it up, squeeze and bring it back down. Opposite knee, across, up. Try and keep it as close to your body as you can before you pop your knee back down. Other side. Down, you've got a nice twist. Slide it up, you've got the squeeze and the twist like that, wringing out of the cloth. Knees down. Other one. Up. And again, one more on each side. Last one. Well done. Good, well done. Let's just sit on the heels for a moment. And you'll notice, particularly if you're really finding the abs there, it's quite nice for them to just be allowed to stretch and open. Well done. So we're going to come to downward dog, a modified downward dog twist. As always, you can make it a little softer, so a bit more support by doing it from your hands and knees. So it's exactly the same, opposite hand across to the outside of the opposite leg, but on all fours. Otherwise, you'll come to all fours and you'll make your way to downward dog. But what we're going to do is just walk the feet a tiny bit further forward, which might mean you have to bend your knees a bit. Then we're going to take the hands and the feet a little bit wider, almost as wide as the mat. Good. You're going to firm up through your left hand, so you're really pressing into the left hand. Then you're going to reach your right hand across to the left leg. Now you might find your hand is quite high, or you may be able to automatically go for the ankle. Try and avoid that, just go almost to the ankle. Firm up through the supporting hand. The hand that's on the leg, gently pull against the leg. Turn your shoulders to the left. Maybe look under your armpit. Hello. Then come back to both hands. Good, let's go straight to the other side so we've got the feet and hands in the same position. So reaching across, holding onto the leg, turning the shoulders to the right. Make sure that your right hand is pushing the floor away. And you're gently drawing against the right leg with the left hand to help you turn your shoulders to the right. Coming back, both hands, readjust your downward dog, so feet a little closer and hands also closer, but feet and hands now a tiny bit further away from each other. And let's come to plank again. Release the knees and roll to the floor. Feel that little press on the belly. Same cobra, hands a bit further forward, straddling the mat. Breathe in and breathe out as you lower. Let's do that twice more. Lifting up as you inhale, lowering down as you exhale. One more. Good. Then pressing up to all fours and coming back to downward dog. Good. So from here we're going to step the left foot forwards and we're going to let the right heel touch down. So we'd like you to take your right foot a bit further to the right towards the long edge of the mat and then spin on the ball of the foot and bring the heel down. So I talked about imaginary tram lines on yoga mats before. So imagine you've got your tram lines. So your left foot's on one tram line and your right heel is on the other. So you've got the nice wide base because we're going to be moving from here to a lunge and a twisted lunge. So we want a bit more stability. Good, so walk your hands up your left thigh. And we'll, mumbling to myself then. We're going to move between warrior 2 and high lunge. And then we're going to twist or lunge. So I'll just briefly show you. You can join me if you'd like to. So you'll take, let's all work together. So sweep your arms forwards and up as you breathe in. And now as you breathe out, turn everything to the right. Then softly allow your arms to open in line with your shoulders. Then turn your gaze and look at the middle finger of your left hand. Now your gaze is going to be forwards, whatever posture we're doing, so we're not turning the head, we're going to keep the gaze forwards. So as you breathe in, both arms up by the ears, so you're facing forwards towards that front foot, your back heel now lifts up, you're in a high lunge. As you breathe out, keep your gaze forwards, turn your shoulders to the left, open your arms in line with your shoulders, look at the middle finger of your right hand. Breathe in, both arms up, everything's square again. Exhale, turn to the right, back to your warrior 2. Hopefully that was fairly well explained, I hope so. Let's do it again. Breathe in, arms up, high lunge. Exhale, turn the shoulders to the left, open the arms. So you're gazing forwards the whole time. Breathe in, looking forwards here with the arms up. Still looking forwards back to your warrior 2. Let's do one more. Breathe in. Turn your shoulders to the left, open the arms. Breathing in. Return to your warrior 2. You might need to adjust your feet because when you swivel on the ball of the foot tends to kind of slowly go back. We're going to lay the left forearm on top of the left thigh, palm facing up. So lengthwise rather than the cross. Back arm is going to wrap behind you, or you can maybe hold on to the top of the left thigh with the right hand, taking your gaze to the right again, rather than up. Nice little squeeze on the side body here, so we'll be kind of getting connected to the ascending colon and descending colon as well, which is brilliant, all part of your digestive system. Look down at your mat. Good. Start to bring your hands down. As your hands touch down, the back heel lifts. Step back to downward dog. Again, you might want to shake out that front leg. And then the other one, why not? Same thing on the other side. Step your right foot. Make sure your back heel, when it comes down, is on that imaginary tram line, so perhaps walk your foot a little bit more to the left. Walk your hands up your right thigh. Okay, you're facing me now, sorry about that. So, as we did on the other side, breathe in, arms forwards and up. As you breathe out, turn everything to the left. Then allow the arms to softly open in line with the shoulders, then turn your head to look at the middle finger of your right hand. Well done. Let's start to move. So breathe in, both arms up, back heel lifts. Breathe out, turn your shoulders to the right, look at the middle finger of the left hand. Breathe in, look forwards, arms up. Exhale, look at the middle finger of the right hand now. Good. Breathe in, high lunge. Exhale, twist your lunge, turn your shoulders first. Breathe in, high lunge. Exhale, back to warrior two. Good, final one. Adjust yourself, I'm just moving a lot. Good. Settle into your warrior two. Then we'll lay the right forearm along the length of the right thigh, other arm behind the back, or maybe hold onto the thigh with the hand. So do be careful you're not just hanging your head over, so make sure there's a gap between your bottom ear and your bottom shoulder. So you're looking to the left, rather than trying to turn or look up. Then we look down at the floor, we bring the hands down, and we take our time to step back to downward dog. Good. So we're going to do our dog twist again. Either the full version, or you can go back to that modified one we did earlier by separating the feet and hands wider and walking them a bit closer together, or back to your hands and knees. Good. So we're going to firm up through the left hand, reach the right hand towards the ankle of the left leg and press with the left hand and gently pull as you turn your shoulders to the left. So gently pulling against the leg with your right hand. Good, come back to supporting yourself with both hands. Take a breath. And then we'll move to the other side, reaching as much as you can towards the ankle area of the right leg with the left hand, pressing firmly with your left hand, with your right hand, I beg your pardon, and pulling gently against your right leg with your left hand, turning your shoulders to the right, looking to the right maybe. And you can, if you're not careful, allow your hips to start to swing to the right here. So really feel that your sacrum again is nice and level. Good. Return to your downward dog. Come through to plank. Lower the knees. Wave your way to the floor. Keeping your hands glued this time. Breathe into your cobra, shoulders nicely back and down. Slowly return to the floor, just focusing the belly and the squeeze and the press as you lower. Just stay here for a breath or two and breathe. I'll lift my head so I can chat to you. Breathe into your belly and feel your belly pressing into the floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, feel it just lightening back and lifting slightly towards the spine. Inhale, feel your belly swell into the floor. And then exhale. Good, one more. And then press up to all fours. And we're going to come back to child's pose again. So what I'd like you to do is a yogi's choice. So your child's pose with your knees together, but if you want to go a little deeper with the feeling and the squeeze on the belly, we're going to add a fist to the area just above the groin creases. It's not particularly good if you're menstruating, so it's best just to come into a regular child's pose. So thumb to base of the little finger, 4 fingers around the thumb. You find that area just above the hip crease and you fold forwards. And as we just breathe into the floor, we breathe the belly into the resistance of the hands if they're there, or the resistance of the thighs if your belly is on your thighs. Take some really nice deep breaths here. Let's just take one more. So, if you have your hands in against your belly, come up really slowly. So gradually release that pressure on the abdomen. And if you're in child's pose, just slowly come to more of an upright position. Close your eyes for a moment, and again, just allow the belly to swell and move and fill with the breath. Well done. So we're going to go back to that little movement we did earlier when we drew the knee to the bottom of the wrist and then we slid it up the leg. So you can repeat that from all fours again, or you can work with me. You'll start in downward dog, and as you bring your knee forwards, you're in kind of a 3-legged plank with your knee going across to the opposite wrist. I'll do a very quick demo. I'm going to do it in fast forward. So it'll be downward dog, the knee comes across, it slides up, you keep it sucked into the chest until you're back in your downward dog. And as you come forward, you can steer in like a plank, lift it up, keep it sucked into the chest, and then pop the foot back down. Okay, if you're working on all fours, it's the same. So you keep the knee tightly in towards you as much as you can until you pop your knee down. Okay, let's find our start positions, all fours or downward dog. Good. So we're going to take the left knee towards the back of the right wrist. So as you do that, you come through into a plank, maybe touch the wrist, slide the knee up, keep it hugged into the belly, and then pop the foot down. Other side, knee across, up, keep it sucked in. Good, and again, other side. So we're just going to do the 3 like we did when we were on all fours. It's quite tricky to talk when I'm doing that. Other side, up and back. Good, once more with the left knee. Should be getting a little bit challenging now if you're really working hard. Once more with the right knee. Good. Take a breath in downward dog. And once more to plank, knees release. We're going to continue to wave down, slowly over the belly, with that little squeeze and press. Good. Taking the hands a little further forwards into this crab position. We're just going to come up into a much softer cobra. To feel the stretch on the belly now, just feel it lengthening. If this is too much, you can always pop your forearms down into a sphinx type position. So you're actively breathing into the belly to feel that nice lengthening action as you inhale. Keeping your tailbone long. Slowly returning to the floor. Good, and let's just snap the head on the hands for a moment. So you're going to slide your left knee out to the side, keeping it on the floor. And without your bottom sticking up. So press your hip crease towards the floor. We're aiming just to scooch the body around a little bit to the left, and then we're going to allow the forehead to come back onto the hands. So you've got a slight twist, but mainly a nice squeezy thing going on the sideways on the left side. Take a few deep breaths, just a few here. And then on your next out breath, bring your body back to the centre and slowly straighten out your left leg. So do that all over again on the other side. So slide the right knee up, walk yourself around to the right a little bit, finishing the movement by popping your forehead back on your hands. And then encouraging that right hip crease, the right groin area to press towards the floor. It probably isn't touching the floor, but pressing towards so your bottom doesn't start to poke up in the air. So now we've had a chance to squeeze the opposite side, so we've worked on ascending and descending colon here. Finish the breath you've taken and bring your body back to the centre. Straighten out your bent leg. Readjust your hands so they're just forward of your shoulders. We're going to inhale to supported upward dog or full upward dog. I'm going to exhale to downward dog. So remember your options through hands and knees, tuck the toes, then downward dog, or from here, using that abdominal strength to lift the hips up and back as you flip over the toes, and maybe straighten your mat up like I've just had to. Take a few breaths. And then we'll look forward and we'll step the left foot to the inside of the left hand. Good. So what I should have suggested at the beginning is you may need a brick, but don't worry if you haven't got one to hand, just something that might elevate your hand off the floor. You can keep the back knee down here if you prefer to do so. We're doing a kind of variation on triangle, but just approaching it a different way. So we're working on a twist. We're looking to turn the body towards that front thigh. So it's all about this bit really, so don't worry about the back leg being on the floor or being off the floor, all right? But we are going to straighten the front leg. So back knee up or down, you're on both hands. So you're going to take the left arm out to the side and up as you straighten the left leg and turn your shoulders to the left. Then exhale back where you came from. Rebend the leg, hand to the floor. Good. And again, straighten that front leg, turn your shoulders, and then back where you came from. We're just going to hold this one. So turning the shoulders really does set you up for the twist. So, and also have a sneaky look at your left hip. So I mentioned earlier that it can have a tendency to swing out to the side you're turning to, and that really does impact on this area of your back. So if you want to try popping your hand there again to see if everything's nice and flat. Good. Rebend the leg, bring the hand back down and step back to downward dog. Pedal the heels quickly or hold and breathe. Then we look forward and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So just 3 times, left knee up or down, your choice. Good. So breathe in, left, right arm back to the side and up, straighten the right leg, turn the shoulders before you think about twisting. Then exhale back to your high lunge. And again, turn the shoulders. Exhale back to the lunge, holding this one. Good, so straighten that front leg. I think I forgot to do that then. Check your right hip and do make sure you haven't locked out that right leg. You can pop your hand on your sacrum again if that helps you. Kind of sort your hips out. Looking to the right. Well done. Rebend that front leg. Pop your hand down and step back to downward dog. Good. Breathe in, lift the heels high, and exhale, tap the knees down onto the mat and come to a comfortable seated position on the floor. Good, so we're going to come back to a seated twist. We'll extend both legs out in front. Good. And what we're going to do is, we're going to do it twice, and the first time we're going to work in the most gentle option, the most gentle approach to this posture, Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. So your left leg will stay straight, and you'll bend your right leg. Good. Now you're going to do the same thing that we did right at the beginning when we twisted. If you remember, we're just going to twist the shoulders. So wrap the left arm around the raised right leg. Without turning your head, sweep your right arm out to the side and back and just find the floor behind you. Good. Use your right hand to help you lengthen your spine. So press into your right hand, press into the back of your left heel, press down to your right foot and your right sitting bone as you lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, finish the movement, turn the shoulders to the right, and just as we've done a few times today, let your head and neck follow. Keep the feet active, so the heel pressing, the foot pressing, sitting bone pressing, the squeeze of the knee against the abdomen. Now, it's very easy to bring tension into the neck here, so just gently turn your head from side to side like you're saying no, and then up and down like you're saying yes. And we'll come out like we did at the beginning. We're going to sigh the breath. So breathe in, sigh away from your twist. Slowly turn to your forward facing position and straighten out your bent leg and bend your straight leg. So press through the heel, press through the foot, press through the sitting bone. Right arm around the leg, sweep the left arm back and behind you, hand finds the floor. Use all those little pressing points to help you lengthen through the spine and up through the crown of the head. Exhale, turn the shoulders and then let the head follow. Remember that navel squeeze to allow us to perhaps go a little deeper into the twist, so creating space by squeezing the navel back. I'm really getting the idea of wringing out the digestive system here. One more inhale, sigh away from the twist. Forward facing, straighten out your bent leg. And remember we did that little slumpy forward bend with the legs crossed. We're going to do that with the legs out in front. So it's about the belly rather than the back of the legs. So you can always bend your legs and rounding through the back. So you've got that little kind of squishy, squeezy going on in the belly. Well done. Coming back up. So you do the same thing again, the same twist, but a more advanced variation, moving towards the full expression of the pose if you choose to do so. You can repeat what we've already done, but we're going to start from there and I'll take you through the steps to go into the final pose. So left leg straight, right leg bent. This is fine. In fact, you'll just do what we've done. Or you can step your foot to the outside of the straight leg. When I share this with anyone, I always remind them that whatever they do with their leg, it shouldn't make any difference to how the spine is able to be tall. So if you're crossing your leg over and that means you've had to come down to do that, then step your foot back so you can lift and lengthen and lift the chest as well, so that helps you stay nice and upright. The final phase will be to curl your left heel, so lean over if you want to, into the outside of your right hip. We're not trying to sit on the heel today. So whatever part of your foot is on the mat, you're pressing it down. The sole of the foot of the bent leg, left arm around the raised right knee. Give yourself a nice big squeeze here. Reach round behind you with your right hand. Good. Breathe in, lengthen up. And exhale, turn your shoulders to the right. And then let your head follow. It's quite a nice experiment to do that. We do it on the other side. I'll just guide you through it so you can feel the ease of movement through the neck. Maybe close your eyes so you can feel where the breath is happy to go to, where it's finding it a challenge to move to. The next one, we sigh again, we just kind of let go of pressing and holding. Slowly return to that central position. On this side, we're just going to turn to the left, hands to the floor, and just do a little bow up and down. So this is a more open twist, but still got a nice twisty squeeze on the belly. Good, come back up. Straighten out your legs. Give them a little bounce and a roll. And we'll do that on the other side. So we'll try that sort of head movement last. So I'll just guide you through it. So remember, left leg bent, foot as it is, right leg straight. We'll step it over. We'll lean over and curl your right heel in towards the outside of your left hip. Sitting bone pressing, foot pressing, or heel, foot pressing. Opposite arm around the knee. Good. Sweep the left arm back behind you. Find the floor. Now breathe in, lengthen up, press down to all those points of contact. Exhale, navel to spine. Keep your head forward so you're going to still look towards me. Turn your shoulders to the left. And then at the very last, allow your head to float round towards that back shoulder. So you may be surprised how softened that movement is as you just give the neck a little bit more freedom to move. It's so human to turn first from the neck, the top of the neck. This one we sigh away from a twist, we relax holding and pressing. Gradually turn into our forward facing position. Stretching out the legs, maybe lean on the hands this time. And just kind of bounce and roll them from side to side. Good. So we're going to come back down onto our mats. So you can do it in two ways. Well, any way you like actually. You're going to end up on your mat with your legs bent. So you can just make your way there now. Or you can support the movement by rounding down through the spine, trying to get one vertebra at a time from the bottom of your spine up to touch down rather than just crashing down. Or you can move with the arms extended, palms soft and facing up. Either or what you've chosen to do is fine. But begin to start to try and find those bony plates right at the bottom of the spine. You can usually feel those. And then try and work into the vertebra on the bottom of the spine. The middle of the spine is probably the most challenging because that's the time when you just tend to just go clonk to the floor. Try and control it for as long as you can. But once your shoulders are down, relax your arms. Softly touch the head down and immediately release all the weight of your head into the support of the surface of your arm. Good. We're going to make sure the legs are nicely bent and the feet are going to be as wide as the mat. We're going to allow the arms again to softly unfurl. I think like rolls of wallpaper sometimes, unrolling out to the side. And we're just going to do that little knee side to side movement, but this time at the knees nice and wide. And I'd like you to add, I like to call this a micro pause. So you'll take the legs to the right or the left. Pause, you breathe in, pause, you'll take your knees over, breathe out, pause, and you'll keep that going. And maybe you might find that your pauses want to become longer, then you can let them be longer. So we're still twisting, gently easing back away from those deeper rotations we did through the spine, squeezes on the belly. The next time your knees go over to the right, just let them be there. And try and stay connected to the pause at the bottom, at the top, pardon me, of the in-breath. And as you breathe out, notice rather than a pause, you find this wonderful stillness. Your next in-breath will bring the knees up to the paws. Your next out-breath will take the knees to the opposite side into stillness. Stay connected to that pattern of breath, breathing into the pause, breathing out to stillness. The next inhale lifts the knees. Stay there this time as you exhale. And you might like to keep your legs bent to relax, or maybe let the knees come in and touch each other, making a tent shape with your legs. Or move more to the classic yoga relaxation pose, Shavasana, arms and legs in a V shape. And wherever you are, you might like to put warm things on, maybe socks or a blanket, or have a support for your head, especially if you're in your own home. Make yourself as comfy as you can. And once you've settled into your comfy place, come back to the pause and the stillness. The pause at the top of the inhalation, the stillness at the bottom of the exhalation. And allow your body to rest into that stillness. So please feel free to remain with the pause and the stillness for as long as you need, until you're ready to step back into your day. Until the next time. Namaste.